With a huge salary cap anchor that was weighing the team down now lifted, the Raptors can finally make use of the final open spot on their roster. With the league leader in minutes and first-time NBA All-Star Fred VanVleet already having sat out multiple games this past week due to knee soreness, the Raptors' need for reinforcements has become even more apparent than it was pre-trade deadline. According to multiple recent reports, the Raptors were actively seeking deals and were quite close to acquiring another young and versatile player in the Lakers' Talen Horton-Tucker, as well as Nerlens Noel as part of a three-team deal with the Lakers and the Knicks. Now, of course, the deals did not fall through, as both the Knicks and the Raptors seem to have issues with the details of the potential trade. Now, Talen Horton-Tucker would have been a great prospect to have, as LeBron James himself has publicly stated his love for his game and high hopes for his future in the NBA. Although THT may be struggling this season, shooting 41% from the field and an ice-cold 28% from 3, the prospect of the Raptors adding yet another versatile, long, young player with a 7'1" wingspan, coupled with the Raptors' elite training and development, sure would be an understandably tantalizing one. THT would have been an intriguing prospect to add to a roster oozing with extreme potential, and we'll parking lot this idea for now, but we can't rule out the possibility of THT being a Raptor come this offseason. We'll just have to wait and see what happens with that. Oh, and before I forget, there was yet another deal that did not fall through for the Raptors on deadline day, and this would have seen Nets big man Nicholas Claxton come north of the border in exchange for a future first-round pick. And side note, just wanted to thank everybody that has supported me in my journey so far to 100k. I just hit 1k on the channel and it's only 4 months old. I'm super grateful. And having said that, I did notice that only 5.2% of you right now that are actually watching are subscribed to the channel. So if you haven't already, please do hit that subscribe button. It really does make a world of difference. And smash that like button while you're at it, so that this video can get to more Raptors and NBA fans such as yourselves. Now, with Claxton's playing time seeing major ups and downs this season, and especially as of late, this has been the case with him. The deal would have seen the Raptors shore up an apparent lack of size at the 5 spot, however, because cold streaks do happen. And not to mention, this is the big one here, there was a Kristaps Porzingis deal in the works, which of course would have made trade deadline headlines. But Bobby Webster noted in the deadline post presser that the long-term aspect of the deal money-wise was way too risky, as the incremental increases coupled with Porzy's injury history, became the prime no factor in that deal falling through. Now, depending on who you ask, the Raptors' need for a center may not even be a need at all. But if we take into consideration their recent blowout loss against a team that is also long, but equipped with the size that the Raptors lack at the 5. And it's no secret that one of the best and only traditional centers in the league is none other than former Raptor Jonas Valanciunas. Now, what Raptor fan right now, including myself, wouldn't love to have JV back in TO? I mean, one can only dream, especially considering what a beast he's now become. Regardless, before going on about what could have happened, let's quickly assess what needs to happen before March 1st, which, by the way, is the deadline for players to be claimed off of waivers or for them to be bought out. The priority for the Raptors, especially considering the fact that Fred VanVleet has shown signs of mortality with his recent injuries, which he sat out games for, the priority should now be to acquire a player, preferably a guard, who can make plays, score a bit, and take the load off of Freddie so that come playoff time, the Raptors won't have another early playoffs version of Kyle Lowry. Do you guys remember when he would also, just like Fred VanVleet, be amongst the league leaders in minutes played during the regular season, only to blatantly run out of gas for the playoffs? Which of course resulted in poor performances from the dubbed GOAT, which inevitably became a huge contributing factor to his team's eventual elimination from the playoffs. Now, learning from our past mistakes is how we grow. And I'm confident that the front office has something up their sleeve, and depending on who is available for March 1st, Raptors Nation, we're most likely going to see a new face on our roster in less than 2 weeks, especially because it looks like we're poised to make a playoff run. I do want to end with an extremely important point. As a fan and a player of basketball for the last 21 years, I will say that given my basketball intuition, I personally believe that the Raptors have an extremely promising future point guard in Rexdale, Ontario native Delano Banton. For more on that, I did go in depth with it. I'll leave the link on the top right for you if you guys want to take a look at that. Oh, and before I forget and before I let you go, NBA All-Star Weekend is now here. I took some sweet time to make a compilation mix for you guys. This one has one play from every All-Star that I handpicked I also added some cool effects and retime effects on there, so make sure you watch it before All-Star Weekend if you guys want to get you and your friends hype. And side note, it also has a Kobe Bryant motivational intro I created that personally gets me fired up every time I hear it. So you do not want to miss that one, especially if you enjoyed this one. And remember, if you do watch it, you'll be feeding a hungry African. Seriously, I'm African, and I get hungry a lot. Got some munchies?